Aloha lovelies, it's Maya Ananda here, Gentle Feather Institute on the big island of Hawaii. And I'm here today to talk to you about stuff. So imagine this, before we're even born, before we even take our first breath, we are already accumulating stuff, right? Think about it. People offer our parents things to welcome the new baby. Now, I've had a baby. There's stuff you actually need. You know, a stroller is very handy. There's some other stuff that you actually will find useful. But let's face it, how much of the things that your parents gather on your behalf really are needed? How many stuffed toys do you need? How many cute little outfits, etc., etc. So before you even come home from the hospital, you have a room ready and waiting for you filled with stuff, right? Think about that. So years go by, more stuff accumulates. Maybe your parents think, you know, I'm not going to get rid of that right now because I don't know, maybe we'll have another baby, or I know the Johnsons down the street, they're expecting, so we'll wait and give these things to them. And you get the picture. Things start accumulating, right? Stuff just doesn't go anywhere. Years go by, and now you have even more stuff. Child grows up, leaves the home, starts accumulating stuff on their own behalf. Begins a relationship, now accumulates stuff on their partner's behalf. They have children, you get the picture. Stuff, stuff, stuff. Now, don't mean to bring you down, but let's imagine for a moment that one of your special beings in this world is no longer here, sheds their physical body, and is called home to the light. Just because they're called home to the light doesn't mean their stuff magically, Star Trek-like, vanishes as well. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that it's hard enough to be sitting in a space of grief, especially sudden loss, when you're dealing with that shock and that trauma that goes along with that grief, or actually precedes the actual grieving process. But then to look around at all of these things. You know, I share with you, I remember when my husband passed, and months into the grieving journey, when the initial shock, you know, subsided, and I'm not saying 100%, I'm not even sure it's 100% to this day, but enough for me to realize and look around and go, holy moly, there's a whole life of stuff that now I need to decide what to do with. And those of you who are with me in this grieving journey, who have lost someone, you will know very well that every little thing, every little piece of crap becomes something precious, doesn't it? Every little receipt, every little piece of paper, every little drawing, every little memento, every article of clothing has a memory attached to it. Everything is something. You know, you look through your photos and there's 20 photos, all bad, of one particular thing, but you're not going to delete them, are you? Because you can't take any more. You can't take any more. So you've got all this stuff. And there's some people that sit with the stuff. Well, there's some people that are very pragmatic in this world, very practical, and they go, right, stuff, rip it off, get rid of it. I personally don't know any of those people. The people that I know struggle with this as I have. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do with all of these things of a life that is so precious to you? What do you do? So there's some people that do nothing. You know, my grandmother, when my grandfather passed, she was of the age that I guess she decided she didn't need to do anything at that point. She was already well into her 80s. So nothing was touched. But we were all instructed to not touch anything as well. And I remember after she passed, all of my grandfather's things still in a closet where he placed them. His hands, the last to touch them, his scent still on them. So there's that journey. And then there's the journey of maybe many, many others who we need to make a decision of what to do with this stuff. And it is very challenging. It can be very challenging. So I'm going to pause with this story because it's a big discussion, isn't it? And we're not going to solve this or touch into it in this quick little video. But what I want to drive home here is that, and you've heard me say it before, I hope, subscribe to this channel and you will hear it many times, is that we are energy beings residing in an energy world. And that means that everything has energy. So every item from that person who is no longer here has some energy memory of that person, of the instance, if it's clothing when they wore it, if it's a thing, a certain event, there's memory. Energy retains memory. And the reason I bring this up is because when you are ready to go through your letting go, your shedding process, it's really key to consider the fact that those things are affecting you, not just memory-wise looking at them, but energy-wise they're affecting you. And this is the class that I'll be teaching in 2022, is about how energy affects us and giving you a new angle in order to make decisions. At the end of the day, there's really two spectrums. This item, does it bring you comfort and joy in a positive way? Or does it bring you down? Does it bring you exactly to that moment of crisis? Does it shatter you over and over again? So we're going to be working with this coming up 2022. Again, it's not an easy process. Every closet you go through, I just helped my daughter to go through her clothes. And we were both crying, remembering a dress that Daddy bought for her. It just never ends, does it? But we can make choices together and we can support each other. So I offer you some new information about what you're going to do with all of this stuff. All right, so subscribe to our channel. Thank you with gratitude being here with me in this beautiful space. And I wish you blessings and aloha for today and always, and a beautiful 2022. Stay tuned.